Elite Facts presents
10 celebrities who had crappy jobs before they were famous.
10.
Amy Adams was a Hooters waitress. The first on this list isn't a bad one, as Amy actually says she loved working as a Hooters girl. The Oscar nominee, who was a hostess at the restaurant chain, said it was a great time for an 18-year-old who just wanted to make some extra college money. Think about it, next time you're there, you could be getting a plate of wings from a future A-lister.
9.
Johnny Depp sold pens over the phone. Depp first came to Hollywood to become a musician with his band The Kids. They even opened for the B-52s, but the band's modest success wasn't enough, so the entire group supported themselves by selling pens for a telemarketing firm. It was the classic cold calling gig as they tried to offload a bunch of Bureau pens.
8.
John Hamm was a set dresser for porn sets. The Don Draper actor hit it big time in Mad Men, but it took a while for him to hit the big time. While he was waiting for his big break, he would get porn sets ready for the action. He said he had to move cameras around, ashtrays, and that porn is strangely obsessed with continuity. It was while he was on a porn shoot that he got a call to audition for a play. He called his agent back, and through sheer tiredness and boredom, he agreed to it no matter what the play was about.
7.
Hugh Jackman was a clown at kids' parties. Back then, you could laugh at Jackman in his day job, but be careful what you say to the man they call Wolverine nowadays. The Australian native used to entertain kids at birthday parties and said it was the hardest job he'd ever had. He said the exhaustion of trying to entertain a bunch of little kids was harder than fighting Magneto would ever be.
6.
Jennifer Hudson was working at Burger King. Jennifer Hudson has come a long way from being an American Idol contestant. She even has an Oscar to her name, but at one time she used to sell Whoppers. It was her dislike of the job that pushed Jennifer Hudson to quit and pursue her dreams of making it as a singer. She packed it all up at 18 years old and said forget this and decided her talent would get her through life. Though there aren't many women with talent like hers, so maybe keep with it at Burger King until you're sure you're that good.
5.
Madonna was a cashier at Dunkin' Donuts. A young Madonna arrived in New York City with not much in her purse at all, but the Michigan native was convinced she'd make it as a dancer in the Big Apple. To keep above things, she took a job at Dunkin' Donuts. True to her antics throughout her career, she got fired for hitting other employees with a jelly squirter.
4.
Rachel McAdams worked at McDonald's. The Mick in her name transferred into her early profession before she made it big in The Notebook. In her small-town existence, she needed some cash and got a job at her local McD's. She slaved away at the local McDonald's for 3 years, but isn't sure why they kept her on, as she was a bit of a daydreamer and a dawdler. They had to move her to the role of greeter as she never got any tasks done. There was no looking back, though, as she was let go for being too slow. She would organize customers' bags into very specific orders while the queue got bigger and bigger.
3.
Brad Pitt was a limo driver for strippers. Life may seem easy for the father of 6 now that he's an international movie star, but the Missouri native struggled to make ends meet when he first came to Los Angeles. His job was to drive strippers to bachelor parties and things. He'd pick them up, and at the gig, he'd collect the money, play the bad Prince tapes, and catch the girls' clothes. It got very depressing, but the job wasn't all bad, as Pitt said one of the girls introduced him to the acting teacher who helped him become the successful actor that he is. So Pitt is not too proud to say strippers changed his life.
2.
Jennifer Aniston was a telemarketer. She's one of the most famous women in the world, but the Friends star definitely paid her dues while trying to make it big. One of her first jobs was working as a telemarketer. She was so bad at the job, though, that she spent most of the time apologizing for doing her job. She recalled how people would get so mad at her, they'd yell into the phone, and she'd spend the next 10 minutes trying to apologize to them as much as she could. She sold exactly 0 things while doing the job.
1.
Channing Tatum was a stripper. The inspiration for the movie Magic Mike was actually Channing Tatum's own past as a stripper. And while the job may seem like all fun and games, Tatum found the dark side just too depressing. He said the women would say things like, "Wow, you look just like my son," and it hit him like a hand grenade. The woman was so caught up in the moment that she was basically confessing her love for her nephew. He gave it up not long after this particular incident.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.